I don't know. I'm distracted.
Squirrel.
Oh, speaking of which, this isn't really 2023 year in review, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Oh.
So, how many of you know that in October of 2025, Windows 10 goes end of life? Raise your hand. I can't see your hands. Apparently, that's not how the internet works.
They can put their hand there somewhere.
They could say something in chat.
Mm-hmm.
They could do a hand emoji.
Is there a hand?
Of course there's a hand emoji. Buy Windows 10 Professional for $15, activate instantly online with Microsoft, and keep it forever. Don't pay full price. Get the best deal from our sponsor, urcdkeys, using our link in the video description below. Full details on how this amazing deal works at the end of the video.
All right, go.
So, for previous versions of Windows XP, Windows Vista, 7, 8, etc., Microsoft has offered extended paid security updates for typically 3 years, although I think for XP they did it for longer.
Did you say 2028? You can get
They're
paid?
going to extend it to 2028, but here's what's new. They're going to make it available for regular consumers to pay for it now. They'd never done that before. It used to be that...
Here we go. We got.
I'm looking for the frickin' article.
People putting their hand up. I saw it in there.
Here we go.
Want to stay on Windows 10? You'll be able to until 2028 for an annual fee. Key point, this will be open to consumers for the first time. Microsoft has done this before, but it's always been large corporate clients only. Now this will be open to everyone. The only question, how likely is the average consumer to pay for Windows security updates when they won't pay to actually upgrade their PC? I don't know.
You know what that sounds like to me? Sounds like a poll question.
All right. Subscription
Will
service Windows.
you pay an annual fee
to keep Windows
to
10?
keep Windows 10 security updates through 2028?
Why wouldn't you just go to 11?
Honey,
What?
what if your computer doesn't support 11?
That's the problem. Get a new pooter.
Yeah, but
I don't want it.
people are broken cheap, and I don't know. I mean,
The U.S. military is still using Windows XP. Wouldn't surprise me if some of their stuff is older than that. Do you know how much it's going to be?
no, they haven't revealed it yet.
Win XP.
There we go. I had to type out an entire poll.
All right.
So the thing is,
It's funny.
here's the official point. I need to back up
Okay.
and say something.
All right.
Windows 10 works on some shockingly old hardware. Hardware that Windows 10 doesn't work on isn't very useful for anything in terms of a modern context. And for sure, I mean, if you've got an old piece of medical equipment or an ATM machine or, an industrial press or something, those are closed machines that do one task. They're not general computing devices. They're not online. You're not web browsing with them. Who cares? They could be on a 386 for all the difference it makes. What I'm talking about is actually using a computer, browsing the web, typing emails, etc. If a computer won't run Windows 10, then it really won't run the web. Windows 11 impressed me. What are the CPU breakpoints for Windows 10, Windows 11? What is the oldest CPU from Intel and AMD that Windows 11 supports?
I don't know about 11. 10 is 8, isn't it? 8th gen. But Windows 11.
Okay, let's try this again. Because Windows 10 runs on Pentium 4s. Windows 11, what is the oldest CPU from Intel and AMD that Windows 11 will run on?
Is it 8th gen?
8th gen from
Like-
Intel.
Like the 8700.
Yes. And on AMD.
Isn't it Zen 2 like the 3000 series?
Zen Plus.
Zen
which
Plus?
is a weird place to draw the line. Now, it's easy to confuse that because it's the 2000 series.
But not all 2000
But that's not
series
Zen
is
2.
Zen Plus.
That's true. But Zen 2 is the 3000 series. Zen 2000 series is Zen 1.
Yeah.
AMD, your naming sucks.
So
the 2000 series, so long as it is Zen Plus. So a 2200G and a 2400G are not supported because those are actually Zen 1.
correct.
But a 2600, 2700X are supported.
Correct.
But a 1700X is not.
No. Some 1800, 1600.
All the
1400.
3000 and 5000 and 4000 are supported.
Yep.
Why they drew the line there? That is such a stupid place to draw the line because of the same motherboards. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to come out and say that's a dumb place to draw. It's just basically AM4. Just make everything on AM4 supported.
Kind of would make sense.
I have not
it makes
actually.
sense to do the socket rather than the actual CPU.
Yeah, because the 8th gen was the 300 series boards. That makes sense. The 7th gen, the 7700K, that was the 200 series boards.
Exactly.
So I understand that break. Now, it is possible to install Windows 11 on older machines. I've done so. You either have to use Rufus to make your USB thumb drive and have it put the override in for you. Rufus is a great tool, by the way. If you guys have never heard of Rufus before, Rufus. But you can also get a plain Jane ordinary Windows 11 USB thumb drive, and then when you're getting ready to set up, you boot it to the thumb drive, and you're at the, click the install button, press Control-Shift-F10 to bring up a command window, and you type in regedit and go to the registry editor. There's like 3 different commands you have to type. I forget what it is, but if you Google search it, it takes 3 seconds to find. So you can edit the registry to bypass the TPM and secure boot and all that check, and you can install Windows 11 on older machines. You will find post after post after post saying, it works fine. No, it doesn't. It mostly works fine. I've tried it. My i7 4790K,
Ah, yes.
I have Windows 7 on it.
Yeah.
I have Windows 8.1 on it. I have Windows 10 on it. And I have Windows 11 on it. I have 4 different SSDs that I can switch the plugs on and set it up however I want.
Yeah.
Blizzard does not like when you put Windows 11 on that hardware.
Oh.
StarCraft 2 of all games. StarCraft 2 is like 13-ish years old. StarCraft 2 runs great on Windows 7 and Windows 10 on the 4790K. It will not launch on Windows 11 on the 4790K.
Oopsie.
There are a number of odd situations like that where you're running out of support and programs that should not care do.
Hey, it sounds like the PC world.
I know you can make Windows 11 run on older hardware, but you are running out of support. You are running on an untested, unsupported configuration, and it will work mostly until it doesn't.
Yeah.
And people assume that if it works on the first day they install it, no amount of updates, feature patches, changes, driver support will break anything going forward. Because the 4th gen is not supported on it, that also means that NVIDIA and AMD aren't testing their drivers on 4th gen,
Correct.
game companies aren't testing, and none of it's going to matter here in a minute anyway, because Windows 12 is coming June of next year in just 6 months. And Windows 12 is reported to be coming with a new version of DirectX.
Oh, are they going to 13? Or are they going to skip it?
I don't know,
Lucky
but
13.
if they don't backport it to Windows 11, it isn't going to matter. You just might as well get on with it because
imagine?
it is what it is. You won't have to have the new version of DirectX on day one, but it's not going to be very long before you have
before
to.
you need to.
That's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So Windows 12 comes next year.
Yes.
June 2024 appears to be the date, which means it'll be June 2024 to October of 2025 where you'll be able to run Windows 10 for a bit. You can let them, if you're not an early adopter and you don't want to go to 12 the day it launches, you can give it a full year to work out the kinks, work out the bugs, work out whatever issues they have, and then you can comfortably go to it in the summer of 2025 before Windows 10 support ends. So,
So it's going to get a Windows 13? So many questions.
Windows 12 is one better than 11. Free upgrade from 11 to 12. I don't know if they've actually said so, but I think so. Yeah, QA Library says DirectX 9 and before. DirectX 9 was XP. You had to go to Vista or 7 for DirectX 10. And DirectX 10 didn't... Honestly, DirectX 10 never really mattered much. It was DirectX 11 on Windows 7
Yeah,
that really...
that made the difference.
But you had to go to 10 to get 12.
Correct.
So... What's interesting is when I set up Windows 7 on my 4790K, it all works mostly. I mean, Windows Update updated to all the latest patches and updates, and I was able to find and download the most recent drivers and everything, and get it working. And you can download Steam, and you can download your game launchers, and you can make stuff work.
Obi-Wan has a question.
Why are games still being made in DirectX 11 when DirectX 12 was released in 2015, 8 years ago?
Is it just because the devs know Direct 11, or is it just because they're being slack?
Honestly, a lot of games worked on Windows 7 up until recently. That's a fair question.
I wonder what ChatGTP says. Or should I not?
Yeah. Let's see what the poll says.
All right, let's see what the poll says. What does the poll say? Da-na-na-na. Will you pay an annual fee to keep Windows 10 security updates through 2028? No, I'll upgrade to Windows 12, 66% of you. Yes, says 16% of you, $20 a year. No, screw Microsoft, go on to Linux, 15% of you. And yes, $50 per you, 2% of you. So, that's a lot of people.
Unrelated note, see this comment up here? I have a 3600 and can't go to Windows 11. That's probably because you don't have TPM or Secure Boot enabled to BIOS. A 3600 will easily run Windows 11. It's fully supported. That's a your computer configuration problem right there. If you update your BIOS, in all likelihood, it will flip those settings on for you automatically. Looking for a Windows 10 or 11 product key, but you don't want to spend $100 to $200 for it? Our sponsor, urcdkeys, provides discounted Windows keys at amazing prices. $15 for Windows 10 Professional, $21 for Windows 11 Professional, and just $60 for Microsoft Office 2021 Professional Plus. These product keys are the real deal. They activate directly with Microsoft Online, link to your Microsoft account, and they work forever. For Windows, you simply go to Settings, Update and Security, Activation, click Change Product Key, paste the key provided by urcdkeys, and in seconds, you're activated with Microsoft. For Office, go to setup.office.com, sign in with your Microsoft account, paste the product key provided by urcdkeys, and then download Office 2021 Pro Plus directly from Microsoft. Remember to use the discount code TD20 to save 25% off the already deeply discounted prices and support our channel at the same time. We have been using product keys from urcdkeys for almost 5 years now without any issues and encourage you to do so as well.
Ryan, thank you so much for the donation, mate. He says, if I clone a Windows 10 boot drive from a 10-year-old PC, install in a new 12th gen Intel PC, then reset Windows to factory default, is that the same as installing Windows from a boot media thumb drive? No. How could it be?
I haven't tried that.
Factory.
I'm thinking about it for a minute.
Reset Windows to factory defaults.
Yeah, if you do Windows Restore.
Is that the same?
It probably is.
It would have to do a lot of updating.
No, it would just do a fresh install. It would just wipe Windows.
Windows 10 boot drive from a 10-year-old PC.
That probably would do that, yes. Make sure you don't select keep programs and files. And I would just have it download the newest version. When you do a when you go into recovery and reset this PC, you get a bunch of options. And you can choose to keep your files or remove them. You can choose to reinstall Windows using the local reserve copy, because Windows keeps a protected copy of all of its files locally on your drive. Mm-hmm. Or you can choose to download the fresh image from Microsoft, which is about 4 to 6 gigabytes worth of downloaded files. If you download the fresh image and you choose not to keep your files, it's probably the same thing as a thumb drive install. Here's the only question I would have. Do you have the proper partitions on the drive? I guess if it's got Windows 10 on it, you probably would.
He said yes. He said it to remove everything.
I hate guessing and assuming. I've never tried it.
We just always install.
It's too easy to use a thumb drive. I mean, I do it so often, I think nothing of it.
We never move anything. We always just do a fresh install.
I have over on the shelf, I have a stack of USB thumb drives of all the Windows versions. Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11. And it's just, and 7 and 8 are done, so they don't get updated, but 10 and 11, when 10 retires, I'll update the thumb drive to the last version, and I just keep those so I can put any version. I've never tried it. It probably is the same. If I had to guess, it's probably the same as a clean install.
Spock, I trust your guesses more than someone else's.
Thank you, sweetie.
You're welcome, darling.